Well, that's good. That's winning plays. We've been using that phrase a lot, and we did it down the stretch last game. We did down the stretch this game. Kansas State is really when we started using that phrase, and we need to make winning plays down the stretch. And we did it today. We didn't play well, I thought, offensively the entire game, and we're going to work on that and get better. But certainly, you knew it'd be a tough game. It's the Big 12. This is a team that we've had two tight games with, and it was great to see us come out at the end. You know, the rebounding was good. Our defense was good. We were only 40%. Certainly, the only thing disappointing was the turnovers, and you can't blame one guy. It was a team effort to do it 21 times and across the board. So we'll work on it. We'll get better at it. But good execution down the stretch out of a timeout, and then. You know, we got fortunate on the drive there, but we got to work on some things offensively. But they're a very good team. You know, I think they're obviously a junior, senior-dominated team, very experienced, well-coached, and they really hurt us with their defense as far as packing in, making us make jump shots, and then double teaming or digging down in the post, and we didn't do a good job out of it. We worked on it, we practiced against it, but we didn't handle it as well. We were too impatient, and we didn't understand reversing the basketball. So. But it's a win and puts us at 6-5, and I think puts us in 4th. I think with the tiebreaker, we were ahead in that area. So you know, we got you know, it's good, but not enough, and so we'll go forward here. I think we were joking about in there on the free throw. Alex was laughing about, and we're saying, hey, I'm a 3 for 3. I didn't want to miss one on purpose, but so I said I wanted you to make it, but the assistants didn't, and so I was trying to put the blame on the assistants, but actually it was my decision, but the assistants were the ones that came up with that to miss the free throw. It was the right thing to do, and it worked out well. So, but that's how that played out, just to make that clear. So, a good decision by the coaches and assistants there, and they did a great job. All of them have been doing a great job with scouts and matchups. They do a lot of the matchups as who we're guarding, and so they did a great job of that. We changed up at the last possession on how we wanted to guard, and did some things down the stretch. The zone was good for us in the first half. We got done with the man in the second half.
So you did communicate to him to miss?
Yeah. Yeah, he fought. He wasn't too excited about the idea of what had happened, but
it was a really good intentional miss.
Yeah. Bounced a couple times, didn't go long, and just made sure he said miss, but they know you got to hit the rim. So he, we were in good shape either way, but that was probably the way to handle it there with no timeouts, and certainly the thing to do. That's what we're. I subbed in 2 guys. I subbed in one to make sure they got it, and I don't think that everybody still had it. So I subbed in another guy to give us time to still communicate with that. And so that was the thinking with the subs at the end, because I didn't feel that they had the message. Obviously, we didn't have timeouts in that situation.
Obviously, the call went your way at the end. Chris would have a different view of it, but that particular call, what did you see?
You know what? I never talk about calls afterwards. I certainly wouldn't want to start doing it now. But it was actually the guard obviously was right in front of me, our guy. So I get the ball was in between, so I could really it was blocked out by the drive, by the body of Alex as he was driving. So again, certainly interesting down the stretch there on their play. When they ran their ball screen action up top, that was an interesting play too as well.
During this winning streak, Jalen Fisher and J.D. Miller have both played really well. What does that say about having young players step up?
Yeah, well, you know, I should have mentioned too, I really got on our 2 guys, J.D. and Brandon, about rebounding, and they got 10 rebounds between the 2 of it, so that was huge for us. We got 21 points out of that spot, and you know, during our stretch where we weren't playing well, that was a big factor. We weren't getting the production we needed out of them, both offensively and defensively and rebounding. So J.D. was huge, obviously some big threes, and you know, I think he's a little bit more. He was, you know, playing really well. You know, he's gone through a tough stretch, and sat him down and said, you got to refocus on basics, discipline, and fundamentals. Really, is the word we've been using. And fundamentals sometimes isn't a good word to kids, but he's got to make that a priority. And I think it's something that he's improved in. He's always been he's been defending well for us, but he was huge. And Jalen and I really pointed out after the game in the huddle, in the locker room, about his defense down the stretch. He was really good defensively down the stretch, and getting off to the ball. I think he learned a lot today in defensively. That's a motion team. We don't see that a lot. We don't practice against it a lot, and so I think he learned something today as the game went on, and that's what he wanted to do. So. He got better down the stretch, and that's what he wanted to do.
They only shot 6 of 10 from the line, Texas Tech, versus the last time we played them where they had 31.
Yeah, it was 31-9. This one's 17-10.
Was that a point of emphasis, not letting them get to the basket, or
Yeah, but we still have way too many fouls on offensive fouls, and a lot of our turnovers were called turnovers, whether it be a travel, a moving screen, a charge, and that's how they got to the line 10 times, as well as we only got there 17 times, so it was they packed it in. We're packing it in to some degree. We played a lot of zone. They were pressing, so those things. We're going inside. They're not really going inside. They don't have a post guy. But they obviously really went at Vlad. They were very physical, Vlad, in the post, and then before he got the catch in, when he got the catch in, that obviously was a priority. We didn't handle the double team great, and we got to get better at it. We've been pretty good against it.
It felt like a pretty big resume building game, particularly for Tech.
Mm-hmm.
You try to kind of stay away from that, but coming out of it with a win, how do you kind of look at that part of it?
Well, you got to win your home games. We've made that very clear. We've lost to the number 1, number 2 team in the country. You can live with that. The Auburn loss, obviously, is something I've addressed as being something that hurt our resume. But we just got to keep doing what we're doing, win some road games as well, which we've done and will continue to do. So, we got to just keep getting better. We didn't play great. We got to play better, but we played hard. We out-rebounded them by 7. That's a big number in a low-possession game, and certainly the turnovers were really the one thing that kept us from being the team I think we can become.
How do you think you overcame that kind of a deficit in turnovers?
We got rebounded by 7. That makes up for it pretty quickly.
Did that game feel like a tournament game?
It was a high-level game. They're talking about 6 juniors, 6 seniors. That's got to be they're one of the oldest teams in the country. It's and statistically, and they've played a lot of minutes, and they've been through a lot. They're an NCAA tournament team last year who's used to winning and has won 16 games already. So they're a team. The conference. I've been in some pretty good conferences. Again, my goal is to, as I joke now, is to play the toughest conference in the country every year of my career. So continuing the tradition here at Big 12.
You'd mentioned after the 4-game slide, after the Auburn game, that you'd get them right back and rattle off another 4 in a row. You've gotten 3 in a row now. What does the team really change to turn it around and get the win?
Well, I thought I got that message across. I didn't think we played that poorly. I thought we played pretty good in the 3 games. You're not going to win every game. We lost some road games. Tech, we played good. We didn't shoot the ball well. The shooting, we've shot it better. Obviously, the numbers, you just looked that up. I shot it, but I thought our offense was good. To be honest, our offense was better at Tech than it was here against them. We just made some shots. We were low turnovers, 9 against them. But I just missed open shots. I watched that game again. That was a strange game as I watched that thing. We never got to the free throw line, which was hard to believe. We never got a bonus in that game. It was hard to believe. I don't think I've ever done it either half. So we lost games. The Auburn game was a game where I didn't feel we played well, and I made that very clear. So we didn't defend well enough. The other games we felt good, and that was the thing. Not panic. Don't panic. And I made that clear to our guys. We lost. I was disappointed. The Auburn game, I don't have it, but the other 3 losses were, we don't want to be talking about losses when you win 17 games, but you can't panic on losses, especially when you play at a pretty good level.
Thanks, guys.